very little traffic in this residential neighborhood here, but he'll pop up on Rosecrans. If he continues southbound here, he'll come back out on Rosecrans Avenue, and my guess is he'll get back on Rosecrans and continue the same dangerous driving that he's been doing, because I just don't see him establishing any pattern here. Doesn't seem like he really knows where he wants to end this or how he wants to end this. He's just going to take this until he either hurts somebody or runs out of gas completely. Fortunately, though, they've done their best to pull back, turn off the night sun, and let the helicopter do the bulk of the work here by calling out his maneuvers. But it doesn't really seem to have had a major impact on his driving. He's continuing to you know, up the ante here every time he sees obstacles or any kind of...
Can you guys hear the broadcaster?
Right around, this is a red light. He stopped in the crosswalk. This might be the first time he's actually stopped at the crosswalk for that cross traffic there. So he's going to look for an opportunity. He's got the red light, so he's going to just squeeze his way through here. And everybody around him is wondering, what in the world is this guy doing? Especially without any lights or sirens behind him. That's the danger that you mentioned there, David.
Yeah, this is going on for quite some time now, and if you're just tuning in, he has no police units behind him. They haven't been there for quite some time, but he continues to run. Obviously, there are airships overhead who are watching his every move. They don't have a spotlight on him, but he continues to drive. We believe there are multiple people in this vehicle. We don't know their background. But we know that they're in there, and he has been driving erratically, extremely dangerously, hasn't hit anybody yet, but he's come awfully close. And that's where it brings us right now. He's in a convertible PT Cruiser, from what we can make, and he's been able to remarkably avoid hitting anything, but it just takes one slip up, one tiny mistake, and becomes tragic.
One thing remains true in the better part of the last 10 minutes, despite all of these twists and turns and seems to be random maneuvers, he is still in the same neighborhood. We've made lots of turns in the last few minutes, but he remains in the eastern section of Compton, just west of the 710 freeway, which still raises the question, begs the question, why is he in this area? This is also the same area where it started before he made his way closer to the 110 freeway, eventually making his way back into East Compton in the same exact neighborhood. So what his relationship is with this neighborhood, unknown at this point, but speculation on my part is that he is familiar with this neighborhood, just trying to enjoy his last few minutes of freedom before he's eventually caught up with. Now, there you see an LA County Sheriff's Unit, 2 of them, that have now come up on that intersection. You saw they're going to follow him probably, but they stopped at the intersection. They have their lights and sirens off. But as I mentioned, they've got as many units as possible in this vicinity to try and keep up with him, try and cut him off. They're not going to stop him because of the way he's driving. Again, LA County has very particular pursuit policies, and they're going to be very careful, extra careful, with a driver like this who's potentially armed with 2 other passengers in that vehicle. They are taking all of that into consideration and gathering their own intelligence on the suspect while this pursuit continues. Again, they've basically got it in tracking mode, but they are calling this out overhead and on the ground. Everybody is familiar with where he is. They just don't really have an efficient way of doing anything about it until he slows down and lowers the temperature, if you will.
Yeah, but it must just be so stressful for law enforcement, because their whole idea of their job is to protect and serve, and it's very hard to protect the people out on the roads right now when you have a driver like this and your hands are sort of tied, and you're probably hearing from the airship all the turns and maneuvers, and you know you're very near this person, and you absolutely cannot put any more lives in jeopardy than this driver is already doing right now.
Absolutely, and this neighborhood here happens to be Linwood Gardens. You can see a little bit less traffic here, but still very residential. Slowing down here, maybe thinking about his next move, but now making his way along Castlegate Avenue. If you live in this neighborhood in East Compton or in the Linwood Gardens area, we've seen this suspect maintain his, or I should say, remain in this neighborhood. So if you live in this neighborhood, great idea to stay inside, because we just don't know how a pursuit like this is going to end. The chances of somebody getting hurt are so high despite the fact that we don't see a lot of traffic.
Yeah, this
there's
guy
ways,
has
you
been
mentioned,
driving
Colin, somebody
really
walking their
crazy.
dog, somebody on their bicycle. If you live in this neighborhood, if you have us on television or you're streaming the pursuit, stay inside. Don't try and get a glimpse of it, because that's what we often see as well. You know, sometimes we see people come outside to get a glimpse of the action, and you know, driving by their house. It's just not a great idea. Despite the
They
fact
should
that there's
stick
not a
their
lot of
head out
traffic,
the
there's
window
still
and
a
yell at
very
the
high
cops.
potential
Am I
for
being
danger in
detained?
Woodwood Gardens as we make our way along Palmerstone Street, turning off at Butler Avenue. You can see continuing to make random turns left and right, both directions, just kind of making it up as he goes along here. Now here he's meeting up with somebody. There's somebody stopping. He's talking to somebody. Don't know if he knows that person, recognizes the vehicle, or if it's a stranger's vehicle, but he's now stopped at an intersection, making a U-turn and communicating with another driver in another car who also made an erratic move. That was kind of unusual, the way that car now he's just doing a circle in the middle of the intersection. This guy is along for the joyride here of his life, and hopefully it's the last of his fun here as he now continues on to Rosecrans Avenue. They've just given the permission to re-engage here, so I think in the next few seconds we're going to see some more law enforcement units enter the shot here. Now back into oncoming lanes of traffic, wrong side of the road, onto Harris Avenue off of Rosecrans. LA County Sheriff trying to make their way back behind him and continue the pursuit. They've just watched it go on for way too long, and you know, at the way he's been driving, they might be able to keep up with him. But again, if he keeps their, going into oncoming lanes of traffic, that's when they have the potential of losing him or the motivation. Oh, another close call. That was a close one there. That pickup truck did not see him coming and managed to avoid another collision there. But man, that was another really, really close one as he makes his way up Harris Avenue.
Yeah, he's probably wondering what the heck just happened there. That was really close. He slammed on the brakes just in time, so no collision there. Yet again, this guy has been skirting through remarkably. I'm so curious about the communication with that other car. It did seem as though that they were trying to rendezvous and talk because the other car did not behave normally either.
No, it really didn't. And the way he just stopped so readily, whether he was waving him down and that was a stranger, maybe he was, maybe he was communicating with a stranger, but it certainly appeared to be a vehicle that he recognized and stopped to talk to that driver. That driver then made an erratic turn down that other street. But now it looks like he's come to a stop here at Compton Boulevard and Butler Avenue. We'll see why. I can't see what's behind that tree, but under that tree is, I think, just traffic that he's waiting for. So there's traffic that he's waiting for on Compton Boulevard, and now he's making that left turn onto Compton Boulevard. So now back onto a main thoroughfare. LA County Sheriff's units now making their way back into the neighborhood. I think they're going to pick this pursuit up once again. You can see he's slowing down a little bit. That's a good sign. Whether he's, yeah, it is. It's a very, very unusual behavior just watching this guy. I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason.
I did see something glowing. Uh-oh, there's something on the passenger side going on there. Is that a hand or somebody getting out? Or
I think I saw somebody's hand on the passenger side. And, and an object in the back seat on the driver's side. Couldn't tell what it is. I can't tell what it is. It might be a passenger, I'm not sure. At this point, if you're just joining us, we've counted at least 3 people, including the driver, inside this PT Cruiser convertible that has really taken the LA County Sheriff's Department for quite a joyride across the entire city of Compton. Remaining mostly in East Compton here, but we're now at a stop here, and this is the first time that he's really just kind of sat still like this for no real reason. Normally when he sees traffic, he just goes right around it. Is it the case that he's maybe running out of gas? It's certainly a possibility, but for no apparent reason at all, he's now stopped in the middle of Compton Boulevard. If you look near the top of your screen, you're going to see some of those LA County Sheriff's units waiting from a distance to see what he decides to do here and see what his next move is. Now, he may be able to see them in his rear view mirror.
But you still
and
see
you
the
saw
passenger hand.
that passenger with his arm out. It's very possible, even though they're quite a distance back, it's very possible that they may be giving him commands over their PA system and maybe ordering him to give this up. And that might be what we're watching here, but it just seems very random because this is the first time now in this entire pursuit where he is now taking his foot off the gas, taking a minute to breathe, and bring the vehicle to a complete stop in the middle of a major thoroughfare here for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Adam just sitting there. He didn't seem, I mean, maybe, it's always a possibility that gas could be an issue here, but he seemed to just, he's got the hazards now on. He just turned his hazards on. He's intent to just sit there. It is perplexing.
Well, he's got his at least his his hazard. Yeah, both left and right. So those are the hazard lights that are now blinking. You can see, you continue to see an occasional hand out the window there. Now all of a sudden there's something covering that passenger's rear window in the back seat. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe we could push into that back seat and see, is it a sheet of paper maybe? Or,
I don't know.
Okay.
It looks like a brand.
So so that's just a blind spot. I think that's just a blind spot. Actually, I thought that might have been covering the rear window. But we occasionally see that hand out the window, or not really sticking out the window, but you can see it kind of coming up to the window. I can't tell whether the window is rolled up or down, but what I can tell you is that while he's sitting still here, this is giving the LA County Sheriff's Department an opportunity to really surround this block and set up for a spike strip in the event that he continues to move the vehicle.
And put people in the positions that they need so they're ready to go, whatever their plan might be. A lot of theories going on. Oh, here they come.
Here they come. Here they come. They're going to make a move for it here. It looks like he may have run out of gas.
Yeah.
And now they're coming up from behind him. Officers getting out of their vehicles. Sheriff's deputies with their guns drawn here. Any moment now, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 units right behind him. And it looks like it's time to give it up. It looks like we've got hands on both the driver's side and the passenger side of the vehicle. At least, in fact, if we go ahead, we'll go ahead and keep the shot semi-wide here just in case. But you can see hands now coming out of both sides. It almost looked like there's actually 4 people possibly in the vehicle. I see hands coming from the driver's window, the passenger window, and the driver's back seat. It looks like maybe that passenger that was in the right rear maybe has made his way over to the driver's side. So we know of at least 3 people altogether, including that driver. LA County Sheriff's deputies now have this vehicle stopped at Compton Boulevard and White Avenue here in East Compton. And it looks like finally, after running out of gas, is what we're hearing, this pursuit has now come to an end. Man, I got to tell you, this was filled with so many close calls and the potential for such disastrous ending. This is about the best possible termination we could have possibly hoped for. You can see the driver now giving up, coming out of the vehicle with his hands up and following orders of the LA County Sheriff's Department as he kind of wobbles back and forth there. The original report was that this was suspected to be a DUI driver, and that may very well turn out to be the case. We'll eventually find that out. But now the driver stepping out of the vehicle, he's going to be taken into custody here. They are going to be taking him right into custody there in handcuffs, and now they will approach the vehicle. Well, they'll actually order the other 2 passengers to come out of the vehicle before they approach the vehicle and eventually give the all clear here. But you can see arms still out of the passenger side of the car, and after a, 30-40 minute pursuit all over Compton, this looks like it's come to a peaceful end, remarkably, Colleen and David.
It is remarkable, and I would have sworn that they were going to hit some. They didn't, thank goodness, and this ended the best possible way, and that is they ran out of gas. They decided to just sit there and wait for law enforcement to show
Man, these guys. I'm sorry I couldn't get live earlier because these guys were driving crazy. Crazy. Oh, don't put her on the ground. I might feel an earthquake.
You've got to give the LA County Sheriff's Department a lot of credit in this situation. You know, they used their best judgment to pull off when it was appropriate, re-engage when they thought that they had seen enough, and they were on top of it the entire time. You know, the helicopter followed every single twist and turn, and despite the fact that we didn't see units right behind him the whole time, they were in the vicinity monitoring all of those moves and ready for this moment when the vehicle finally came to a stop. They saw their opportunity and they took it. And fortunately, looks like everybody's going to go home safe here. Well, they won't be going home, but they will be spending the night in jail.
This guy's better behave. Yeah, he was looking a little bit too cocky.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
But he's sort of abiding by their instructions.
Asking him to lift his shirt up, make sure he doesn't have a weapon and not carrying one in his waistband there. So that's what you're seeing here. He's now going to walk backwards in the direction of sheriff's deputies. And by my count, I think this will be the last passenger to come out of this vehicle.
Savage. That was funny.
That we were dealing with a total of 3 people, including the driver, at least to the best of our knowledge. We'll see eventually if there's anybody else inside that car.
Wow, that's not intimidating to see that big old rifle aimed at you as well. What a situation, but so glad it came to an end and nobody was hurt. I'm amazed that we didn't see any sort of collision or anything.
Some very close calls, and some people, they may still be thinking about what just happened at that intersection where somebody almost hit me. And he did squeeze through by an inch or two in a couple of locations as well. Here they go. They're going to move in and check the car to see if anybody else is in there.
Yeah, a little bit tricky with those convertible windows, but yeah, you can see it looks like they're able to see through there and officially give the code 4. You saw him raise his left hand there, letting everybody know that this is now a cleared vehicle, and they will continue on here with their evening. And of course, those 3 suspects will be heading out to jail this evening.
Yeah, and Compton, the community of Compton, they are out of danger right now, at least when it comes to this situation here. This driver flying through the neighborhood for the better part of an hour, and he didn't hit anybody, but it came awfully close on this Friday night. But,
that was a wild one.
Yep, it was a wild one. Chris, thank you so much. We're going to continue.
That was interesting. Oh, hey, what did I hit? Oh, the bird is the word. Hey, everybody. I saw that pursuit going on. I just thought I'd share it, but it ended kind of quick, so sorry about that. Yeah, I think you guys missed all the best parts. Man, that driver was crazy. Crazy. Don't worry. Sorry, there's a TV on in the background, and I don't want to mute it, so. Just kicking back with my other half and relaxing. Got to go to work tomorrow. And, yeah, I thought I'd broadcast the chase that was going on, just in case something happened. I know that we have, or I have, subscribers outside of California, of course, so you wouldn't see that Compton pursuit on your local news. So, well, there, you got to see a little bit of it on my channel. So, it was more or less an experiment. So, I hope it came through okay. Really wish I had gotten to it a little sooner, but we were flipping channels and we came across it. No shooting. There wasn't any shooting. They gave up. Once the car ran out of electricity or gas, whatever it was, they gave up. Some woman, some thug-looking guy. Me? No, I'm not high. Smoked a fatty. That's what I thought they were doing. They're like, oh crap, we're going to jail. Well, let's spark up the fatty before we get behind bars. Maybe they had some alcohol in there. They were chugging down to get rid of it since they were about to get arrested. Pass. No, it's puff, puff, give. Puff, puff, give. Don't be fucking up the rotation now. Niggas get killed with somebody else. Alright, man. Got that Bluetooth. Used in public for phone calls. I'm gonna have to read that. you got? You guys probably hear the news in the background. Prime time, anytime is about to begin recording on this TV. We got something set up going on. All right, sorry about the background noise. I'm probably gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to share that pursuit that was going on live, just in case something interesting happened. But seems like the police were well behaved. The wall's blue. Yep, I got a blue wall. It's not as light. It's darker. In this camera, it looks real light, but it's actually like a navy blue. Blue is... There's no lines, but blue's my favorite color. Look, I got blue pillows, and I got a blue comforter. Well, actually, this comforter is black and gray, but I have a blue comforter around here somewhere. I just like blue. Don't like the blue line, but I like blue. My second favorite color is green. Hey, maybe I'll do a quiz or a test sometime in the future. You guys, I'll ask, what's my favorite color or what's my second favorite color? And maybe whoever gets it gets a prize. So remember that. Junkyard Dog's favorite color is blue, and his second favorite color is green. All right. It's a bus color. Looks turquoise. Yeah. All right. Not a thin blue. No, definitely not a thin blue. I'm not a blue line person. Lines divide, and the blue line flag that a certain gang has really gets under my skin, because I consider it a gang symbol. I do. Lines divide people. Why do you need a line to separate certain people from certain people? I mean, let's stop dividing and you start uniting. Stop dividing, start uniting. All right. Smells like dinner's about ready. I'm gonna get off this thing, but sorry the pursuit wasn't more interesting. If I would have got to it sooner, I would have been able to start the live stream earlier in the pursuit, because it was kind of crazy. Man, that guy was driving nuts. All right. Hey, everybody. What's the good word? Remember, the bird is the word.
It's jungle out there, disorder and confusion everywhere. No one seems to care. Well, I do. Hey, who's in charge here? It's jungle out there. People think I'm crazy, I worry all the time. You paid attention, you'd be worried too. You better pay attention, for this world we love so much might just kill you. I could be wrong now, but I don't think so, cause there's a jungle out there. There's a jungle out there.
Answer questions, man.
No?
No.
You got a rifle?
I don't answer questions, man.
Loaded?
I don't answer questions.
No question.
I don't answer questions.
Keeps on pushing me around, but I'm
Staying my ground, and I won't back down.